Hello, my name is Danielle Delisle, and I have been asked by your teacher to go ahead and talk to you about what it is that I do. Or, rather, she asks people she knows to do so, and so here I am. I am a writer. I write mostly for role playing games, and I also write fiction. I have a website that you can check out if you want to see the type of stuff I write. I've written for all sorts of properties for role playing games. But what I'm going to do, I guess, is talk about how I got there because it's not like a straight shot. And so I guess I just wanted to tell this story so y'all know that like life can take you anywhere and hardly anyone's path is just a straight arrow to where they want to go. Sometimes it is, but it's okay if it isn't. When I was a kid, I wanted to be a whole bunch of things: doctor, astronaut, the usual stuff. I went to college for anthropology. So I got my bachelor's degree in anthropology. And then I went to grad school at first for cell molecular biology because I thought I wanted to be a forensic pathologist and I needed more science. So that's what I did. And I worked in a hospital while I was doing that, and I hated it. I really liked doing the pathology and all of that. I had done an internship when I was in undergrad at the state medical examiner's office in Vermont. And so I was, I assisted with autopsies and things like that. And so I did that. That's what I thought I wanted to do. But then I realized I didn't want to do it badly enough to spend 12 years in a hospital. At that point, my grandmother died, and I'd been really close to her, so it was really hard. And she'd always been a big reader, and I'd written stuff since I was, a little kid, like most writers do, but I didn't really think of it as anything serious. But after she passed away, I thought that that would be something that I might want to pursue, because she'd always been a big reader and a big, always going over and reading stuff that I had written and enjoying it and everything. So I decided to go back to school for English language and literature. So I got my master's degree in English language and literature. So far I'd done anthropology, I'd done science and forensic pathology, and now I was doing English language and literature. And, at this point I had tons of jobs, both in school and not out of school. I'd worked at a convenience store. I'd worked at McDonald's. I'd worked as a security guard. I'd done some modeling for art classes. I'd done, what else? Of course, I interned at the medical examiner's office. I worked in an office. I worked as a pizza delivery girl. I worked as a tutor. I did all sorts of things. And then when I got out of school, I worked at a newspaper. The first job I got out of school was working at a newspaper as a reporter. And then I teacher. I went down to Honduras and I taught there for a year and came back and got my teaching degree, and I taught high school for a little while. I taught English. And all of this was not writing. This is, in the meantime, I was trying to figure out what I wanted to do. I got an opportunity to go to a writing workshop for speculative fiction, for science fiction, fantasy, horror. And I went there. And after that, I started to just apply for stuff. I started applying for different all-calls for writers that I saw. I just started following writers on Twitter and editors and stuff and RPG and a whole bunch of stuff. And usually if you do that, they'll say, when they have all-calls or they're looking for writers and you can apply. And I started doing that and I got a job doing that. My first job was working for Third Eye Games, and then that opened a whole bunch of doors for me, and I just started working in the RPG industry while working on my fiction as well. As my point is my path was not simple, and it wasn't easy, and it wasn't just a straight shot of knowing what I wanted to do, and it's okay if that's the same way for you. I I guess if anything, I would encourage you to do what you need to do to have the time to decide, instead of going to school, college, and being forced to do that in something that you're not sure if you want to do. I don't think there's any problem with working for a little while or doing a trade school or something if you already know what you're interested in. Like, do the things that are going to help you decide what to do if you're undecided. If you're decided on what you want to do and you know what you want to do need to do to get there, go for it. But if you're sitting there not sure of what you want to do with your life, my best advice would be to not do the things that you need to do to help you decide. Do the stuff that will help you to survive until you can decide. Try different things. Keep yourself supported, get a job to support yourself, while you're doing, but do hobbies, do all whole sorts of stuff and find out what you're interested in. And then if you need more training, and then if you need to go to school or you need a mentor or something like that, you can do that at that time. I mean, I'm 42 and I didn't start doing what I'm doing now until I was in my 30s. So I guess that's all I have to say. If you have questions for me about RPG writing or something, I mean, I don't know why, because you have your teacher, because she can answer questions better than I can. But, if you do, she has my information, so she can pass them along to me and I will answer any questions that you have. So I hope this was helpful and I wish you the best of luck.